All right, let's dive into something called Nostr. It's a project that's asking a pretty huge question about our online world. What if we could just start over, build it all again, but differently? And no, it's not another app or some new company. It's a completely different blueprint for how things could work. So I want you to imagine something for a second. What if social media wasn't a place you go to, like Facebook or Twitter? What if instead it was more like a set of Lego blocks, just a simple set of rules that anyone could use to build their own social experiences? That is the big idea behind Nostr. It's about tearing down the walled gardens and opening up a huge creative playground. So how in the world do you build a social network out of building blocks? Well, it all starts with looking at the network itself in a totally new way. At its very heart, Nostr isn't a thing you can own. It's a protocol, kind of like how HTTP is the basic language for the web that lets browsers and servers talk to each other. Nostr is like that, but for social data. It provides this simple, fundamental rulebook for communication. And the best part is, anyone, anywhere can just pick up that rulebook and start building. You don't have to ask anyone for permission. Okay, to really get this, we've got to look at the three core pieces of the Nostr ecosystem. Everything, and I mean everything, you see and do is built from just these three simple parts. First up, you have clients. Now, these are the apps and websites you actually use. Think of them like your web browser. You can use Chrome or Safari or Firefox to see the same internet, right? It's the same deal here. You can use dozens of different Nostr clients to tap into the exact same network and information. They're just different windows looking into the same world. Next, we have relays. And the magic of relays is how simple they are. Seriously, they're designed to be kind of dumb. They only do two things. They catch messages, and they pass them on to anyone who asks. That's it. Just think of them like a bunch of public bulletin boards scattered around the internet, just passing notes back and forth. And finally, we have events. And listen up, because this is the most important part. An event is the only kind of data that exists on Nostr. Every single thing you do, a short note you post, a profile update, a like, following someone, it's all just an event. It's a standardized, cryptographically signed little packet of data that clients create and relays just pass around. So there we have it, our three building blocks: clients, relays, and events. Now let's see how these little pieces snap together to create something that actually looks and feels like a social network. Getting started on Nostr probably feels a lot more familiar than you'd think. First, you create your identity, which is basically just a secret key that you control. Then you can post a note. That's a basic kind 1 event. You start building your network by publishing a kind 3 event, which is just your follow list. And then you can react and share stuff using other specific kinds of events. Every single action is just a different standardized type of event. And this simple structure is what leads to these incredibly powerful benefits for you, the user. First, you control your identity with your key. No one can ever take it away from you. Second, your social network, everyone you follow, is totally portable. You can switch to a brand new client tomorrow, and boom, your entire network is right there with you. And finally, because it's all open, anyone can build a new client or a cool new feature without asking for permission. But here's where it gets really fun. These building blocks let you create way more than just another Twitter feed. You can assemble them in totally different ways to build completely different kinds of experiences. For example, there's a set of rules for encrypted direct messages, so you can have private chats. There's another set of rules for creating public, real-time chat groups, kind of like Telegram. And there's even a blueprint for building moderated, topic-based communities that work a lot like Reddit. Let's really think about that for a sec. On one hand, you can snap the blocks together to create something that feels just like Telegram, super fast, open, real-time chats. But then, using a different set of rules and event types, you can build these structured communities with moderators, rules, and topics, just like Reddit. It's the same underlying protocol, just used to build completely different things. And because anyone can dream up a new type of event, the Nostr universe is just constantly expanding in ways nobody could have predicted. Here are just a few quick examples of what people are cooking up right now. People are working on live streaming. You could use Nostr events to announce your stream and let people find it and join in, all coordinated through the protocol. How about decentralized marketplaces? There's a proposal for that. A seller could list their products and customers could buy them, with all the communication happening over Nostr. People are even building productivity tools. There's a spec for creating and sharing calendar events, so you could have collaborative schedules built right on top of this open protocol. Okay, let's bring this all home. Why is this whole building block approach such a big deal? What's the main takeaway from all of this? It really all boils down to this. You are in control of your identity and your data. Your social network isn't trapped inside some corporate silo. It's yours, and it's portable. Since anyone can run a relay, the whole network becomes incredibly hard to censor. And maybe the most exciting part of all, innovation is totally open. Anyone with a good idea can just grab these blocks and build the next big thing. And that really leaves us with one final big question. Nostr hands developers a simple but really powerful set of tools for communication. So if you had those fundamental blocks to build a piece of the internet from scratch, what would you create? And that's our look at Nostr. I really hope this gave you a clearer picture of its simple yet powerful approach to building our online world. Thanks so much for watching.